Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the League of Inches podcast. It's here. It is time. Vegas time, baby. First TLT has dropped. 4 teams. Almost better than Christmas Day. I better say almost, just because Mrs. might listen and go, "Oh, hang on a second. You said this, you said that." But no, we all know deep down, winky wink. This is just amazing. So we've actually got to put a few teams onto paper and see some confirmed lineups and the like, which is awesome. Vegas, what a fun time it is. This is really, it kicks off now, guys. We've had all our previews, whether it's position by position or team by team. Go and check them all out via either the podcast. If you're listening, to scroll down. YouTube, scroll down, you can watch all of them, get you all up to date. Half of them are probably the old scoring system, half of them are the new scoring system, so good luck deciphering what you need to decipher, but all the general rules are all there and carries over. But very pumped. I've got both the boys here. It's a big show tonight, so we're going to go through the TLT news and our reaction about any of the key changes. I'm going to quickly go through the Cheapie Bible that the boys were good enough to put together and we posted out just a couple of days ago. Our team reveals as well, so we'll be revealing all of our teams tonight. Any changes will be posted in our Legends group moving forward, so make sure you are a member of that group if you haven't already. And then we'll be out of here. So a huge thank you, first of all, to Con and the team at Freedom Finance Group, our Supercoach sponsor, and then obviously our major sponsor of the page, Caxton Brewing Company. Thank them both for their support and keeping it going. I keep saying Magic Round, it is going to be pumping. I cannot wait for it and what we have planned for the 2 days over Saturday and Sunday at Caxton Street Brewing Company. If you haven't got any plans yet, you're going to go watch the Vegas games on the weekend. They've got, I think they're doing some wings, drinks, all that sort of thing. They're putting on some great food. Head on down there. Make yourself set up for the 6 hours of football it's going to be. It's going to be a tremendous afternoon there. Trav, how's things, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Very excited today.
Excited.
This is I got all the news. There's heaps of injury news and things come out today, which has completely changed my team. I sent you a pic of my team this morning, and it's drastically changed from then. So that's all right. I'm super keen to get into this. Let's go.
Well, I'm keen to see your reveal. And Jesse, we've been talking off air for about 20 minutes, and I feel like your team alone during that time changed about 6 times. So I'm keen to see what you've got as well at the end of this.
Yeah, well, my team will be whatever it is by the time we get to the end. I think so. This is what it currently is now, and it'll be different in about 5 more minutes. So, yeah, no, we'll rip in.
Just to let you both know, these boys have been knee-deep into draft as well at the moment, so I've got no doubt. Classic sort of came second for a period of time there, but over the last hour or so, been firmly back into the classic side of things. Just a reminder, guys, the comp code, I know everyone out there seems to be going crazy about comp codes and getting in as many as they can. So our overall, the last minute is, so our Supercoach overall is the only one we've got left open. And it's $500 for the winner if you're part of the Legends group. If you're not, it'd be $250 cash straight into your pocket or your bank account. League code is 218174. So 218174. And thanks to Supercoach rings, you will also be getting a championship ring. They are legit. They are awesome. Heavy as it'll hurt your wrist or finger carrying them. But it's well worth bragging rights for the rest. We've also got a cool little thing we've started again now this year, the Creator Cup. So all of our creative friends from a Supercoach point of view, we're going to have bigger and better this year. We're doing a post shortly about that over the next 24 hours or so you can see who's in it. The big dogs are in it, I'll tell you right now. So we're keen to rip in. The boys, we've got all a pretty good history when it comes to that competition. So see what we can produce this year because as I said, there is some very big dogs in that one. So it's going to be down to the wire. We'll keep you informed as we go. Let's get straight into the team list news, boys, shall we? So firstly, let's start with the Knights versus Cowboys. So for the Newcastle Knights, the big news was Ponga confirmed a fullback. He is starting. And the halves pairing of Sharp at 5'8", Brown at halfback, Sandon Smith at 14. Big Supercoach implications here. Jesse, what did you make of this news?
Well, the obvious one was there's actually a couple. This is kind of the best Knights team that I can see out on paper, but Ponga at fullback was in the talks, potentially wasn't going to happen. The big one is Fletcher Sharp at 6, which has ramifications on Dylan Brown not being the 6, which was sort of expected for the duel. So that's not going to happen. And Sandon Smith on the bench. So, and I've just seen as well, they've updated, NRL's updated the interchange to show the 6-man, which I didn't actually see earlier. So, yeah, brings in a couple others. But yeah, I think just having Fletcher Sharp there in the 6 with Dylan Brown in the 7, like I really like that. I think that's the most dangerous pairing they could have gone with in general. I think just Sandon's been shafted, unfortunately for him. We'll see what happens there. I think he probably just has a spell with Crossland, and that could just be what he does for the time being. But yeah, a lot going on in the halves there, I reckon.
Yeah, there is. And Trav, unfortunately for you, I remember you put in the chat, was it last night? You drafted Dylan Brown a couple of times in some drafts, hoping the duel was coming. You're going to have to wait patiently.
Going to have to wait very patiently. Sangster came out and said no, not happening because he just got named at halfbacks. But yeah, so what have I got? I've got a keeper league that I've kept him from last year, and I drafted him in 2 other leagues. So yeah, solely because I thought he was going to get the duel. Like if there was anyone that was getting a duel, it was going to be him. Like that's how the whole preseason went.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is.
I feel like the biggest winner here, Trav, from this 4-position confirmation is probably Fletcher Sharp.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like exactly where he was when he absolutely killed it and got his 700K price because he was just dominating last year.
Yeah.
So this is where we all want him to be, I think. Look, I mean, I'd like him on a wing too, but we said last. Oh, actually, no, not. We didn't say last night on the podcast. But like, I was talking on that podcast last night. Let's just put it out there.
No, they know about it. We
I,
posted about it, so
yeah,
that'll be back at
I feel like this is they kind of had to do this to keep him happy and keep everyone happy because Ponga's back, so that was going to be out there, and then and it just screams to me like this is a Marju. You've got 1 or 2 weeks to prove it to me, or you're on your way out, and I'll just shift Sharp out to the wing and put Sandon into that. So that's how I think it probably they want to play that out, but we'll see.
Jesse, the Supercoach world went into meltdown yesterday at about 12 o'clock lunchtime with reports that Mooney wasn't going to be starting. Everyone just lost their shit. He is starting, though.
He is starting, and even still, off the bench, he's still going to probably play 45, give or take, which you expect 55 with the sort of PPM that he'll put out on a conservative prediction, but he's starting. Like it was, panic stations for no reasons. And even still, you can still get good minutes off the bench. Like Josh Curran's been doing it for years. He's always been an interchange specialist at the Dogs. And if that was going to happen for Mooney, I still would have been like, that's fine. He's 440K. Still going to be very good. But yeah, very keen to have him.
Very much so,
Joel, I'm looking at Trey Mooney and thinking, based off what's on that bench, he's got at least 60 in him.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's pretty outside back driven. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Lastly, just for the Newcastle Knights, the edge spot was up for grabs, and it seems like McEwen has now got that spot. I remember, Jesse, you were very high on him when we spoke about the Knights side of things, and that was, about a month ago now. And then it looked like in the trials maybe Kent was sneaking himself ahead. McEwen was a little bit injured or something like that and just wasn't quite getting the starts. Didn't look like the trials, again, didn't really matter because he's got the spot.
Yeah, I was pretty confident it was going to be McEwen's spot to start this season, considering it was his spot to end last season. I don't think he did anything wrong to lose it, and yeah, it's his. Cam was probably just getting a run. Something must have happened to McEwen either way. Everything settled the way it looks like it should have. But all in all, I think 1 to 13. This is kind of the Knights' best lineup. I don't think he's done anything silly here. I don't think he's trying to outthink the room or anything. Looking at it, I think, this is pretty much it. There's not much more to really go on to from that. Which should have been very predictable, to be honest.
Yes, perfect. Exactly. I agree. Absolutely, for sure. You'd think so, wouldn't you? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
See what happens. But
Either way.
can we all confirm that Brown's probably not an option now?
No, not without a
Well,
duel.
not a halfback. He's not.
Unlucky Dylan Brown owners. Get off him while you can, please. Unless you got him in draft, you're gonna have to stick strong. You don't want to be letting him go. For the Cowboys, Clifford has won the 6th jersey, which has pushed Purdue to centre. This is also a huge win for Drinkwater as well. We've seen how much he gets impacted when Purdue's in the halves. All around, Trav, this sort of flow-on effect, it looks like the best makeup for the Cowboys and probably Supercoach point of view as well.
I love everything about this team for super coach purposes. I don't think they're going to do super well, but super coach wise, the guys we're going to get, we're all over it. Like I'm not going to go too much into it, but there's 1, 2, 3 players from the Cowboys in my 17. All exactly very happy after TLT yesterday to plug them in, and there's a couple of others that I'm quietly considering that I think are good options as well. There's a lot of super coach play here in the Cowboys team.
No, absolutely. The flow-on effect for Drinkwater, Jesse, it's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, like we know, we spoke about the sort of disruptions with the halves and how things shifted when Purdue went into the 5/8s. He's in the centres, and I like that for Purdue. I think it's gonna be really good for him. And just for the makeup of the side as well, Clifford performed well with Dearden in the halves. Drinkwater performs really well overall with this current makeup of the team. And yeah, it's going to be a good run for them. Their fixtures for the start are quite, favourable in general. So if they can get a bit of form here, starting off in Vegas, it could be a really good run because they're going to have a bit of a break between round 2. So um, yeah, I think it's just going to be a good look. Chester's going to get a run, and I'm pretty keen to see how he goes. Like Trav said, there's a fair few options here, especially budget-wise. Chester's a cheapie. He looks really good. Purdue as a duel as well. Purdue's, spoiler a little bit, he's found his way in my 5/8 just because I love him and what he can do at centre. Um, Looking a little bit forward ahead, though, I think you look at Reed Marnie, who's quite a popular hooker downgrade option if you're not going with either a Brayley or a Grant. Sonny Luke's on the bench in the 14. I didn't expect it to really hinder him too much, but then I look at the rest of the bench, and it's just forwards. Forward, 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 forward. I would have to imagine that, yeah, you got to think Marnie's going to lose some minutes here.
Oh, absolutely. It is a worry. We spoke about it when the signing happened, and I remember I said the fact that I don't think Lukey's gone up there just to sit in reserve grade. I reckon the Cowboys have probably hinted to him that this would probably be the role that he gets to play moving forward. It seems to happen now. I'm a very nervous Marnie owner. I'm still at this present time don't really know what to do with him. He's still in my team. Spoiler alert, but I'm not too sure. Like I said to you off air, Jesse, in a way, I'm just sitting there going, you know what? I still think if he can get 60, 65 minutes and he can be around that point per minute sort of guy with the new point scoring system, I'm happy if he can knock out like a 50 to anywhere between 50 to 60. I'll obviously be pretty happy with that, and I'm happy, and it allows me to do some other stuff elsewhere with that money I've been able to save instead of going to Grant. But yeah, it does make me extremely nervous.
Yeah, and it's just another one as well. You kind of look down one spot to Helam Lukey. Very, very popular second row option as well in that mid range. Very good chance that he doesn't get 80 minutes like we kind of hope with the way that this bench looks. I'm expecting 60, 65 out of him too, to the similar output that you might get out of Amani. But we know what the PPM out of Lukey is like. It's more the fitness, and that's where I'd be thinking maybe it's just like an additional start, and we see how this 6-man bench kind of forms the makeup of the players. But I still like him as an option, Lukey. I still think he's probably the most upside for the 400k second rowers, but you really do want that extra 20 minutes out of him if he gets it.
I've been sucked in again. Trav, it's an odd one because Bateman's sitting there, I think, as the 19th man, so he's on the bench. But it just looks like Lukey's form in the trials and what he's probably been doing at training. I heard a lot of reports early in the preseason how good he was going. He's obviously, his actions have spoken very loudly to Todd Payton, and he's won that spot. And Bateman might be on the outer.
Well, towards the end of the year, Bateman was pushed into the middle. And then apparently over the preseason, he's been playing in the middle a lot. So I don't know. I think Bateman might be a bit of a utility type in terms of through the middle, maybe 10 minutes for Lukey kind of thing. But yeah, I think Lukey's minutes is going to be fine, and I'm not stressed by that at all. But yeah, from what I look, to be fair, all the news and reports on Bateman, I still went and drafted him late, but I still went and got him because I'm pretty keen to get around him at in a draft league if he's playing through the middle.
Yep. No, and then just obviously cheapy alert. Tommy Chester has been named in centres in the centre, so you get a nice little duel there with the fullback as well. Like who knows if it ever comes in handy, but it's always nice to see you play there with the duel, even if you never use him in that second position. For the Bulldogs boys, so you've obviously got not too much to talk about here from a Supercoach point of view. A big one is the fact that Kraz has been named on the wing. Which is great to see. Obviously, they do have the bye in round 2, so it's about who you think's valuable enough to play for this one game, have a rest, have enough coverage in you. A lot of cheapy wingers at the moment, so you've got to make sure you pair up that round 2 matchup nicely. But Jesse, Kraz, it's a win. It's a good win to see, but I personally can't pick him because of that round 2 bye.
Yeah, I'm sort of dismissing all the Bulldogs until round 3, to be fair. It's a tricky one. Like, you spend up big money on Carraz. He's the second most expensive centre wing. There's still really good options under him that are going to continue to play. You're still going to get games out of Valentine Holmes, admittedly hard fixtures. You're going to get more out of Kyle Lero, plus everyone else. It's just, yeah, it's a hard one having a bench that much in round 2. But at the same time, I've also, humoured benching Tigers players in round 1. So it's kind of like, it's so. It's early enough where you can sort of just get past it. But either way, I think I will just let it ride, and just try and get him in at some point. And it's, it might be said that the same with a couple of the forwards too, like Preston, and he's always a good option too. I'm not really considering too many others. Genuinely, there is a couple of guys that I've got in draft, and I've just made sure I've got coverage for him. But again, early classic, it's like if you're not covering for, Carraz, you don't have someone like for like at all, considering it's going to be a cheapie either way. So,
yeah. Trav, you in the same boat?
I am now, but it's taken a hell of a lot of playing around with my team to get into that because I remember very clearly, like I said, I want Carraz on my team. I'll deal with it. I want 100 odd points from Carraz for round 1. I'll deal with it round 2 and then put it in. And I'm not seeing value in terms of cheapies other than Macassini, for solid points that I can back. So yeah, unfortunately, I've had to play around a little bit, get Carraz out, and I've got it differently. But I don't have a problem with you picking it or anyone picking Carraz, and as long as you've got some coverage or you're happy for that to flex out. I think Stephen Crichton's also a wonderful buy at 600k. To be fair, I'm actually pretty keen on Lockie Galvin. I'm going to watch, but I'm pretty keen to see what happens here. So they're probably the 3 that I'm super keen on because I know at some point I will definitely get Preston because I love that guy and I think he's in for a big year. But they're the 3 I'm going to watch very closely.
I'm big on Galvin if he can get back to 5'8". I really am craving him to pull that number 6 jersey on, and then I will literally trade him in the week it happens. Just on Carraz, can one of you quickly check for me? Is he actually considered pod now? I'm guessing he doesn't have a lot of ownership because of this round 2 bye.
Carraz's ownership is 13% still, so people still have him. Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping to be a bit lower. I was like, well, good on you for a pod play, and hopefully it does pay off because it's very likely that he will probably pull off a 80, 90, 100 sort of score, and no one will be surprised by it. We'll all be going, oh, far out. We knew you should have done that play.
And enjoy it. Literally enjoy it because that's what we all expect against this Dragons team for it. So enjoy it. 13%, in my opinion, is actually anything under 25% is a pod still. That's 3/4 of the competition that don't have him. But he's at 13, so it's even more. So it's 87%. But yeah,
I just thought it'd be a bit
25.
lower. I just thought it would be, but there'd be some out there who just don't care about the buys and they'll just pick him because he's a gun. And well done to him, he's a gun. So good on him.
You just put Macassini there in next week and you're fine. Like it's Could be like for a week.
Yeah. Talk about value for the Dragons, boys. Trav Setu 2 wins the vacant wing spot. So pretty much expected this was. Farley was playing centres in the trials and that, which was obvious, an obvious sign, in my opinion, that he wasn't looking at being the winger in round one. So I'm very keen to see Setu 2 pull on, and I think he should be able to make us some pretty good cash, Trav.
Yeah, let's hope. Hey, I don't think there's anyone. The only one that's going to take his spot, or that he's potentially could take his spot, is Sloan, and Sloan's on the way out. So I'm not sure that'll be rushed in unless there's an injury. I think it's Setu 2's spot. Look, to be fair, I don't really know a hell of a lot about him. Like, I don't really remember much of him at the Wars. I know that he was there. I know his mature age, but like, I don't. Um, I don't know a hell of a lot about him, but there is big raps from him. I know Flanagan has spoken heaps about him and how good he is and how much he rates him. So yeah, he's a plug and play at 201K and just let it be. You kind of just have to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Talking about
Yep.
cashies, Jesse Atkinson has been named at halfback. No surprise there. But why am I getting more and more nervous about owning him?
I don't know. Why are you getting nervous about owning him?
Yeah.
What's the nerves? He performed really well. He got busy.
I don't know. I'm just starting to really doubt this Dragons lineup.
I don't know why, to be honest. I reckon he's going to do good. That's an easy one. Yeah, I think
Still
you're
him over
overthinking that one.
Sanders?
Every day, yeah. I'm still confidently Atkinson over Sanders. I just think he's more of a talent. I just think, yeah, Atkinson is very, very good. You saw it. You saw how much he can do with the opportunity for it. So easy money, I think.
I'm locked in then. You've got my confidence back up. There you go. That's
Good.
all it took. Leilua impressed enough to keep his edge spot or regain his edge spot. And the other big sort of talking point is Hamish Stewart does start at lock. I'm just questioning this because there's a lot of talent on that bench. So even though it is a starting role, I still don't know if it means more minutes for Stewart. I got a bit off him about a week or so ago. Even this sort of TRT and then seeing what's on the bench, Trav, either of you. It's sort of, I don't know. I'm not as confident about Stewart as I was a week or so ago.
I have to be honest and say that I've got Stewart in my team right now. I put him in about an hour ago. Very keen. As soon as I knew, as soon as he got named as the starting 13, even with Saleh's like play over the preseason and things, as soon as he was named to start, it was he's coming into my team. I've just got to work it out how to do it.
Jesse?
Yeah. I reckon he plays probably 50 minutes, man. I think that's kind of what to expect. We saw it last year. He played about that at lock, and he's going to average probably 55 to 60 as well. So, if that is the minute output that he does get, which is value, man, it's 100K. I like Hamish Stewart. I had him last season as well in my front row when he was a cheapie, when he was bottom dollar or close to bottom dollar cheapie when he started to come up. And I had to play him a few times, and honestly, he did not let me down. Really, you take your 50 points out of him, and you just go, sweet, thanks for coming. Anything more than that, and it's just a bit extra. But the bench, yeah, I can see it. I think just having King Tonga and Farley there is coverage, but yeah, between Sele, Kerr, Laurie, and Couchman, they are all going to share. Like, he's not going to be 65 like a Carrigan level, minute thing for a lock there. He's just going to get his 45 to 50. He might not have that much, like, it'll be a slow burn. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I do have him in a couple of my drafts, but yeah, I was a little bit nervous after seeing that bench. Let's get on over to our Cheapie Bible, shall we? So this is the top 15 that you've obviously seen the post now. If you haven't, I'll drop a link in the show notes as well so you can click through to the Facebook page and you can actually see it straight away. Good articles written there. Both Trav, Jesse, well done. It's come up an absolute treat, and shout out to Tanya behind the scenes who put all the graphics in and made it look as sexy as it does. It's a fantastic looking post. I'll say that. So these are Supercoach cheapies under 320K, our top 15. So what I'll do here, boys, I'll just basically go back and forth, so one for one, so that way we don't take up too long here. So number one on the list is Jonah Pezzett. At the time of putting this together, he's at 68% of ownership. potentially gone up, potentially gone down. Who knows? 235K. I'll start with you, Jesse. This one seems very, very obvious. He's almost a must. Whether you play him or not is a different story, but he can easily just sit there as a 2.
Yeah, I think you have to have him. Honestly, you just have to. There's not enough in 5'8" to not have him in general. Whether or not you start him is right what you just said. If you start him as your 5'8" and you've nuffed out your second spot with like a Foley like I had for the longest time, you're probably going to be fine. Realistically, you probably will get away with it, and you'll be able to spread 400k into your team comfortably on a team build. For anyone that wants to back him up as a second option, he is the best second option by a landslide in the 5'8" position. So, yeah, for that reason, 68 unders, he should be 99% owned.
Yeah, I
It's
think you
pushed
need
up
to
to
hear
69.
Well, it's going up.
16. Hey,
It's going up.
that
God's
alone,
number.
you need to get on him. So well
Done.
done
God's
there.
number.
Number 2, Josh Paxton. So 200 and hang on a second, he's not 201k, is he? He's at 200 and
It's 275.
275. There we go. Third. What's his ownership? Is he only sitting at 35% ownership still? Because that's a steal. Seriously, get on him, please.
It was
Do it.
25%.
It's 25%.
Oh, there we go. 2RF. Trav, talk to me. Why should you have Joshy Paxton in?
Oh, because he's locked down that left edge. He's pushed Fermor away. That was the side that Fafita wanted. That was the side that pushed him out of the Gold Coast Titans that made Fermor become elite basically last year, and now and now Paxton. So if you can push Fermor out, who's no scrub, and you're going to get that spot, then you must be pretty good. Where it is, he's looking basically at 80 minutes. 80 minutes for a guy at that price. He can play crap and still score 50, and he's going to skyrocket in price. So you just got to get him in.
Absolutely, me and Jesse spent a bit of time on him last week and spoke about some of the numbers for his bigger minute games, and it's pretty remarkable what he's doing, and very much a very keen owner, and almost at the point where if I get stuck and need to play him as a 3-2RF, I'm pretty confident he'll do something for me. Number 3, Jesse, Brandon Smith. So unfortunately, just before we came to air, it has been announced that he has picked up a calf injury. The severity at this time of recording, we're not too sure of. So we'll know a bit more about this probably Thursday when you're probably listening to this. We'll post it when we do know. He's sitting at, I think, 22% ownership, 275K.
235k. We do need to correct these. Everything's been shifted. Cheese is potentially going to be out for 8 to 10 weeks with this calf strain, reportedly. Pretty reliable sources too, so I'm kind of interested to see how this plays out because, he was my backup coverage in a draft to Reece Robson, who I've lost, and now I've lost Cheese. So there are panic stations across the board. I think everyone that has a hooker 2 situation at the moment is either looking at him going, are we going up or down? Basically, are you going to keep him and sit potentially 30k of what could be enough in like a Going or someone else? Are you going to go up the next viable option above him? God, there's not many. Hayward, potentially Hayward, Crossland. You're going up 100k, 150k to do that as well, so it's not really close. There's nothing immediately there. I don't think Benny Iowelu has much life in his stint in the 9 either from the Roosters to really make that switch over for a very short stint. It's kind of tricky, which for me in this situation, I'm going to nuff Brandon Smith. I think it's the easier way to do it. But in the event that all of this is, nothing, potentially it could be, we don't know yet. Brandon Smith is a great option for a hooker too, if he is fit. If he's not fit, what's the point?
Yeah.
So
Trav, number 4, we just spoke about him a little bit before. Daniel Atkinson, confirmed halfback, 235k. Basically another set and forget.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's a no-brainer. I would have him before Sanders, which is how we've set up this Cheapie Bible. He's 38% owned, so he has dropped just a tad, but that's okay. The team's his. This is now his first gig. They did everything they could to try and get him there early. It didn't work out. The Sharks wouldn't release him, so he had to stay there. So the Dragons are built around Atkinson going with them, and this is huge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Number 5 is Ethan Sanders, who I am pretty sure is the same price, 235k as well.
246.
246.
Oh, sorry, okay, that's good. 246 now. I'm all over the shop. It's absolutely thrown me here. But
Yeah.
the boys are on to it. It's okay. Jesse, so he's literally just a spot after. I feel like, as you said just before, Atkinson is probably the go-to. But can you make any kind of argument why you would go Sanders?
Yeah, you put it in the point here too. You're splitting hairs picking between Atkinson and Sanders. You really are. You're trying to find the same, like two different sides of the same coin. The difference being Sanders is at the Raiders, who will more than likely finish higher on the ladder than the Dragons will. I don't think there's much debate there. He's going to have the goal kicking, by all reports. He's going to keep his floor higher. So what you've got is a player in a better team with somewhat a higher floor based off the goal kicking. In that, you would think, okay, this guy's going to score better. On the counter of it, for the Atkinson truthers, I just think Atkinson's a better player. You can put all these reservations onto Sanders to be in a better team with the goal kicking, doing this and this, which is fair, and he is, and it's valid. It's extremely valid, and that's the point you make. They might end up averaging the same, but they just go about getting to that average a different way, which really I wouldn't lose sleep over. It's not the end of the world if you're going for one or the other. The difference is too, if you need to find 10 or 15k and you're desperate to do this move you love, I'd be going Sanders down to Atkinson to find that extra bit of coin. It's not a lot, but sometimes you don't need a great deal for a move you like. So yeah, and just job security going forward, I think Atkinson is going to be secure in his position in that 7. I think with Sanders, we all expect Kobe Black to get a look in at some point. So it's just another notch. It's just another domino to fall potentially down the line for him. But yeah, from round 1, it will be his, and you just got to see how he runs with it.
The funny thing is with Atkinson, if anything does happen in terms of positioning, he might get switched to 5'8" just to free him up a little bit more. And for mine, that probably suits his game even better, and I like him even more from a Supercoach point of view at wearing the 6 jersey. Talking about 6, number 6 on this list, Trav, talk to me. Cooper Bye. I cannot own him quick enough. I love him. He's sitting on my side. 235k.
42% owned. All for you, Joel. All I have to say is Marcus Buy, and you get a wreck. So,
It's true.
it is, and it's that last name. There's rugby league in this dude's blood. Look, he was heavily recruited down to the Storm. He stayed at the Gold Coast Titans. That just shows you straight up that he's got talent to burn. This is his year. Lock and load in the 2RF at 235.
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward there. Speaking about Titans, Jesse, number 7 on this list, Cialetili Fayamani. So looks to have secured the wing spot there for the Titans. Seems a real goer as well. He's not shy to get in and amongst it and get his hands dirty, which we all love when that's like a Brian To'o-esque type winger. Talk to me.
Yeah, geez, you're talking Brian To'o-esque for 201k on a wing that traditionally scores bucket loads of tries. Might concede a fair few, but the Titans know how to score tries. Khan Pereira was, if not the leading try scorer, in the top 3 pretty much every year that he'd played on that side. So, yeah, opportunities arisen for him. Like there's been outs. This guy's getting his run. I don't think he's young either. From top of my head, I'm pretty sure. Is he? How old is Faimani?
No, I think he's mid-20s, I'm pretty sure. I think he's another one of those sort of late risers, similar to Setu too. So
Yeah. See, I kind of like that.
could be
Kind of
wrong.
like that as well. But either way, man, it's 201. It's in center wing spot. We are crying for cheapies. We were anyway. They've sort of just come out in abundance now. But yeah, I think he's a very viable play. Especially for this round, if you're running the 4 center cheapie route, I think he's probably the one to play. But yes, he's a confident lock in my team.
Yeah, I love it. I think he has to be one of those cheapies centre wings that you put in your team. Number 8, Trav. Luckily, you're the best person to speak to around this one. We've got Joe Chan. So it's currently sitting at, is it 309K? Talk to us.
Fayamani's 21 too, by the way.
Oh,
Get
nice.
yeah. 309K, 8%. Locked in the edge of Eli Katoa. Guess who he plays next to? It's not hard to guess. Won a Dally M 2 years ago. Like the dude's a star. That's next to him. I think he's just going to be he's just going to benefit from on the back of Jerome Hughes's good ball, defenses having to honor and stop Jerome Hughes. Joe Chan does a couple of things really well, and one of them is he just puts his head on the line and carries the ball hard and fast. And the other thing is he's pretty good defensively, so he's not going to lose too many points for missed tackles and things like that. So I'm really keen on Joe Chan on the right edge.
Do you think he's a proper lock at that position, or do you think when Bloor does come back, whenever that is, there's that many reports about him at the moment, it's insane. Do you think him and Lasardi might share some time there, or might go to Lasardi?
I think if Joe Chan plays pretty well the first couple of games, he's going to stay there, and I think he will. Everything sits for him to be able to play well. I like Joe Chan. To be fair, I'm actually a big fan of Joe Chan's. I would prefer him through the centers, but I think because of that, he's going to make a really good edge back row for us. And when you're next to Hughes, I think he'll be perfectly fine. He is awkwardly sort of priced at 309K. It is a bit awkward, but this year it was tough to put this top 15 together. To be fair, because there's only maybe the 10 of them that are ones that I really want to start. So it's not. Yeah, it's a tough cheapie list this year.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree with that. Jesse, number 9, Sedu 2, 201K. Tells you and shows people how good the list of cheapies are at the moment for this year, because to have him at 9, I absolutely love him. I'm so happy he hasn't left my team since the reports came out that he was getting that wing spot. I'm keen to see what he can do this weekend, ripping in.
Yeah, well, he's 56% owned. He's locked a spot in. He's another 201K centre wing. So put him and Faymani together. You know, these guys are going to make you the coin you need. You know, like these are the ones that'll hit that 60, 70, maybe even a ton in the first 4 or 5 weeks. Just something. I reckon they will do it. They've got the try scoring about them to make it happen. Setu is playing outside of Val Holmes. Like that's prime real estate for a winger, especially, you know. Especially one where we know what the Dragons do with their wing. Like, even when Terrell Sloan's playing out on that wing, he scores tries. He might not do anything else, but he will score tries, and you're just going to get that. So, yeah, just these 201K centre wingers, don't overthink them. Put them in your team. Overdo it. Put more than you want in your team, if anything. You know, like, if you're tossing up going, I need to sit one of, you know, two or Faymani or Makasini or someone out of my team so I can have 4 center wings, I'd almost humor it and go the other way around it. Start your cash gen now, you know, sort of while you can, because 201, there is no risk. They aren't going backwards. They can only go up. So.
Yep, absolutely. Trav, talking about centre wings, it's another one. Hamasi Makasini at 10, 235K. Absolute freak over the trial period. I think everyone is now on board. I'd love to hear his updated ownership percentage, because I reckon it is skyrocketing.
59%.
Even with that round 1 buy. That is insane. I think it's got to the point where you just forget about the fact he has a buy, get him in your team, and off you go and enjoy the ride.
Without a bloody doubt. It's literally just go and get him. He should be 100% he should be 100% owned. And here, if you don't look at the Cheapie Bible that we've put together and you look at the picture that says Makasini, that we've got for Makasini, the size of his arms is just sexy. Man, this is a sexy as man. He is a big boy, and goddamn, he's a good looker. So, like, get that guy in, because, man, he's a freak. He's an absolute freak. And the thing is, he's still a baby, man. Like, oh, he's only just got out of school. Like, it's incredible what he did in preseason and what he's about to do for this year. Look, I don't think he plays just because he is so young the whole year, but he's going to play long enough. Maybe at least the first third of the season, where he's going to make quick bucks.
Yeah. And I think the way some teams are looking, it's going to be okay to have a week where you have one or two of these younger guys maybe sit out for a week, and your team will still be pretty good for it. Jesse, number 11 on this list, I was a little bit surprised about. This is one of the ones that actually got me a little bit, so I'm keen to hear your thoughts. Jack Hetherington, 235K with the front row forward duel. Or entry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Look, had we known the sort of team list kind of structure, I would imagine he might have been one or two places lower. But realistically, the way that we kind of looking at just the forward position in general, I found my side looking pretty thin, where I need to get someone like cheap. I just need someone to go down, and I don't want to nuff a spot. If I'm looking at like my fourth front row forward, if I need to go down to someone and I don't want to nuff it, he's the guy. If I'm looking at my second row and I need to pull, 100K or 80K out of like a dual, potentially like a Chan, for example, he's always a good option to fall back to, and he keeps just popping up. That's the reason I keep looking at Jack Hetherington, is he keeps just popping up at this dual position, essentially bottom dollar guy that is an enabler. And that's what the point of it is. He's an essential enabler for a lot of positions. He's not someone you're going to rely to play, but he is someone that will generate a score. Probably, I don't think he'll be as bad as what you had out of last year, like with the Royce Hunt kind of position front row. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think it'll just be, it'll be patchy. It'll be not consistent enough to ever want to play him. But it'll at least be something. If you don't want to have that something and you don't want the AE issue, which is flexed out anyway, you could just nuff it. But, Melbourne have been traditionally good at bringing careers back through. Like there's a good chance that he might just get this spark up his ass, and all of a sudden he is putting 40s and 50s out. Like, you don't know this, but we have enough of a sample out of Hetherington to kind of get an idea what's going to come. And if that's 30s and 35s like usual, he'll still go up a little bit in coin to nuff if that's the priority. So yeah, he just gives you so many options with the rest of your side to downgrade from.
Yeah, and if there's ever a time to own him, it's probably early in the season with a couple of injuries and the suspension to Liero as well.
True.
He should make some money probably early on if there is any time. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I have 15 seconds? Because I was literally just going to say sort of what you were saying there, Joel, is that with all the outs that have happened, like Nas and things, and then the injuries that we've got, someone has to come off the bench for some decent minutes, particularly through the forwards, because King's not a big minute forward, and Liero's missing the first few weeks. So he's locked that bench spot, I think, especially with Alec McDonald looking like he's got the 13, and he can't play big minutes either. So there'll be some shuffles there. Jack Hetherington's a pretty good pick.
Yeah. Yep. Number 12, Trav, you got probably the fourth of these centre wing cheapies, and I feel like he's just as much a must-have as any of the others we've spoken about, and that's Tommy Chester. Obviously has his injury concerns over the past. He's probably should have been a gun now, an established gun for about 2 years. Unfortunately, this injury hasn't been kind to him. Talk to me about Tommy Chester.
Yeah, and look, he's put at 12 solely because of a couple of things. One, it's the injury history, and two, it's the Zach Laybut that's sitting in the background. He's not playing because he's suspended. Tom Chester's got 2 games basically to lock his spot, so I think he's a really good choice, but he's not in my team, and I'm just going to wait and see. And if he is someone that does play, awesome. I've got a downgrade option in round 3 that I can make, which we are all screaming for that we need. So, because that's when most of the price rises and things happen. So he's not in my team right now. To be fair, I actually traded him out today from him to Macassini and brought Macassini back in. But he's a good option. Just wait and see. It's a little bit buyer beware kind of. Like I get the price and things, but just be aware that there are a few variables in that Cowboys team.
I'll give you 15 seconds to return because I know you've got him in your team.
I do. I think it's a bit the opposite, to be honest. I think it's his spot, and Labart got the run because Chester was injured, not that Chester's got 2 games to prove himself because Labart was there. I think Labart only had that because Chester wasn't initially. But all reports prior were, it's Chester's, and then Chester got injured. It's like, well, that's why Labart's floating about and now
I wonder if when
suspended.
Labart comes back, that pushes Purdue back into the halves. Because Labart's really impressed
I don't
whenever
think
he's had
so.
a chance as well.
Yeah, it's too much. You're not gonna shuffle your center into the halves and drop a half out just to cater
It's
for
Tom
another
Payton,
center.
Jesse.
I
It's
know.
Tom Payton.
Purdue
I
spent
know.
80% of the preseason apparently in the halves, and then he's named
He
at
did.
centre.
Yeah, but you think it's
And you're ignoring who the coach is.
yeah. So I think the
This is
straw
he's
that
renowned
breaks
for
it,
doing these things.
the thing that
Yeah.
shuffles the entire teams, the 3, the 6, the 7, is Labor.
Who
Maybe,
knows? Maybe.
maybe.
Shout
That's
out
crazy.
CP. Shout out to
Oh
your
God,
brother.
that'd be
13. Talk to me about Ryan Couchman, Jesse.
love a Couchman, brother. Um, he just been dicked with injuries, unfortunately. So he's back. He's 235. Look, I think when it comes down to it, he's going to get the minutes you want out of him. He's 13th on the list. He's probably not in a great deal of people's teams because of, there's probably 3 other cheapy second rowers that they can fit in that position. He kind of falls down the pecking order a little bit just off that. And he's coming back from an ACL. So, you can have your reservations. He could be a good, nice watch. He'll be a nice downgrade option in the future as well. But the Couchmans are good. Like, they're notoriously good at the club as well. Like, there's a lot of wraps around these 2 boys together. We have
What's his
seen
ownership at?
Ryan
6.
Couchman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6%?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep. See, and then you look at Toby, and he's right up there at the moment, getting tabled with the best of the bunch in the front row, and he's a jewel. So, there's every opportunity for Ryan to do the same thing or very similar. So, I think I will be keeping an eye out on him very closely throughout the year, and especially early on. I'll see how he looks and his fitness, and if he's a handy downgrade, then he is. But yeah, he could be the alternative in your position if you're not looking at a Hetherington and you don't want to go that way. Maybe him. He could be the guy too. Could be getting 20, 30 minutes off the bench. Might score. I reckon he'll be a point per minute guy comfortably. Ryan Couchman.
Yeah. No,
Just
I
low
agree.
minutes. Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that's one of the future forwards at that club. So I reckon as the season goes on, a bit more trust gets put into them as their bodies stay fit and healthy. Hopefully we just see those minutes start to increase as the season goes on. Another Dragon though, Trav, David Fale was unlucky to miss out on a starting spot in Vegas, but I've got no doubt he'll come into contention throughout the year. And when he gets a spot, all signs are leading to the fact that he will be a Supercoach gun.
Yeah, 100%. That's why he's at 14. You're not starting with him. You're not getting him in now. He is still quite well owned at the moment. But yeah, you've just got to. He's 17% owned still. So maybe you're just sitting there and plugging in for when he does inevitably come in. But at this point in time, I think there's other options to get him out. And the best thing about this, and the advice I can give is, he's a quick watch, or not a quick watch, but he's a really good watch for a downgrade at some point, so that you've got money to be made.
That mid-season cheapie that we all love that comes along we are needing it to free up to sort out some origin changes that we need to make. And number 15, Jesse, it's Curtis Moran. I want to know, was this a little quick shout out to me? Because I remember this conversation quite nicely.
Kind of. To be honest with you, I was thinking I don't even know if there's 15 cheapies that are worth looking into. I need to fill out this last spot, and who could it be? It could be Curtis Moran. To be honest with you, I'm sort of a bit reserved on this last one. It could be anything, hadn't Avale been an option this year, he probably would have been in here as well. We've had a couple move,
Correct.
shuffle about. So I look at it now, and I look at Moran. He's got a nice jewel. He's just been 270 odd as well, 260 something. So yeah, he's at a really good price. I think. One we haven't mentioned, and he still falls in the bracket, and he might pip Moran for me, could be Laban, Jacob Laban at the Warriors, because it's looking like he's going to get himself an edge spot as well. He's $2.99, so he's slightly dearer than what Moran could be on this sort of bottom end of the options that we have. But it's all about security. It's all about job security and middle rotation and how many minutes are these guys going to get. They're probably going to be on the bench now with this 6-man bench. So it's not like, they've got themselves on the interchange. He's going to be good for something. He might not be really, but we'll kind of just see how it all pans out. But yeah, you've got to really want him, I reckon. At considering he's at 15th on the list, which is still good. Like, he's still an option. But there's definitely a lot of players before him that I would be looking up earlier on this list.
I think he becomes a big play with one more injury in the forwards to the Titans in that middle sort of play, whether it's at lock or front row. Once that happens, I think he will become a huge look. He has that duel as well, which will come in handy. So, and he's still quite cheap, which is definitely handy. Yep. Well done, boys. That was a tremendous Cheapie Bible. So thank you very much for the hard work that went into that. And I'm sure we will look through that. And like you said, throughout the year, there is already some prospects that we can look at, and we'll feature heavily in amongst the chats I'm sure you guys have throughout the year. It's time. Team reveals. Look out. This is going to be fun, exciting. I'm pumped to see what everyone is doing. It feels like, in a way, about 2 weeks ago, there was this big worry that everyone's team were starting to look very similar. And I feel like over the last week or so, there's been a lot of differences starting to arise, and people are just looking elsewhere to go different ways. And I love it. I absolutely love what's happening. I feel like our teams, there'll be some similar just because naturally on the podcast, we talk about things. We all pick up the same sort of players and stuff. But there's also a number, I reckon, that we've gone a bit differently. We're all three of us obviously want to do well overall with our head-to-head comps. But I've got no doubt this is also big for us as well. Bragging rights between the three of us, which Jesse's only been able to claim so far. So it'd be nice to knock him off his perch this year. So maybe me and Trav need to work together a little bit this year and just make sure we make something happen. But you know what? I'll kick off. I'll get the boring one out of the way first, the one that doesn't really matter. Don't listen to this one, guys. Just do the opposite to what I've done. So I'll start a hooker and work my way down because I think ending on flex will be interesting because I think everyone's going to be interesting when it comes to flex. So if you want to see the full makeup of these lineups, guys, it'll be nice. Put out nicely in a graph to our Legends group. There'll be little teasers out there to the universe. But if you want to see the full makeup and compare everything, head on over to the Legends group, $4.49 per month, Facebook subscriber group to get all your exclusive Supercoach content through there. There's some remarkable stats that get put together behind the scenes that you simply must look at. It will impact your Supercoach positively in a huge, huge way. It's fantastic numbers to look at. But for me, hooker, I'll start with, I've stuck with Reed Marnie at the moment, and I've got Brandon Smith. So all of a sudden, 24 hours ago, I was very confident with these two. Now that's slightly changed, obviously, with the Reed Marnie potentially not playing a full 80-minute hooker, which it looked like was going to happen. And now Brandon Smith's potential long-term injury or longer-term injury, I should say. So interesting to see what happens there. But for now, I said to Jesse off air as well, I'm pretty confident still having Marnie. I think he can still do well with that sort of 60-minute sort of role. But we'll just look. I don't want it. If it changes my team too drastically, I probably won't change him, to be fair. And with Brandon Smith, from my point of view, I'm just going to basically just leave him, I think, and just let him sit. If anything, I'll probably do what Jesse's done and go to like a Kalani going and just basically nuff that position out and just hope Marnie can get through unscathed for a little while and make a little bit of money to then go to someone else. I'll just go the forwards first as well, and then I'll let you boys have a bit of a say. So I've gone Payne Haas and Trey Mooney as my front row forwards. On the bench, I've gone Jesse Calhoun and Taniela Paseka. So I've gone a few more sort of money-making options there and hopefully make some cash out of those guys. A bit more than I probably would have liked to have spent when I first started, but I like the balance of how it looks now. In my second row forwards, I've got Tino, Dave Fafita, Helam Lukey, Josh Paxton, Ryan Couchman, and Cooper Bye as well. So a lot of these guys, I sort of prioritize making money early, hoping I've got a lot of guys there. I've got the safety blanket, in my opinion, of the likes of Payne Haas and Tino, who should remain quite similar value-wise throughout. So that helps me if I need to make any drastic changes. Hopefully it doesn't. It's sort of a safety blanket there. But, yeah, I think a big thing I've learned over the last year or two is to make sure money is getting generated, it will set you up long term, which I'm keen to see. Anything on the forward so far, boys? No?
Pretty good. They're good. Like they're the forwards that we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
You've got Tino, you've got the big boys, you've got the big base boppers and some good cash gen coming through. You've got Jules, like everything's kind of just there. The structure of the forwards at the moment seems pretty template in a way, but there's a lot of options, like you're picking 5 starters, potentially reserving a couple, and you've got give or take 10 to 12 really solid options to choose from. And I don't think you get it wrong with any of them, but I like it. I think it's a good balance and it's a good price point standard. I think you've got ups and downs options both ways. So that's the one thing that I think that's very important, especially in the second row, is having that higher price point, just at least one, and you've got that with
Probably
Tino. So
my front row, I'll probably spend a little bit more than I wanted to on the reserve players, but I keep having flashbacks to Royce Hunt last year, and I just don't want to go there. I even had a cold shiver when you brought his name up a few minutes ago, Jesse. I just don't want to go back there, so I'm avoiding at all costs, and I'm happy to go a little bit higher with guys I think should be able to generate a decent amount of cash to then help me make some key moves down the track. Anything else to add for that part, Trav?
Not really. You just touched on the only point that I was going to make, which was the 330Kers that you've got in on your bench in your front row forward. I think Paseka's a must-have based off everything around here. I'm not keen. To be fair, I'm just not keen on Colquhoun or Colquhoun, whichever one. I don't know how to say it. But I don't like that situation. Statistically, I don't see too much in him, so yeah. I'm not super keen on that one, but I don't hate it.
We're the only ones that think this, and I love that.
Got room to move with it if I choose to. So, end of the day, I can always go down to like a Niles Martin and just be on me, one of the Martin boys, and just basically nuff it. So, see what happens next week with TLT, and if there's anyone that really sticks out. Halfback. So I've actually originally had Nico Hines for a lot of this preseason. Just today, I changed after thinking about it a lot. I've gone to Sammy Walker. So I was really liking what I've seen from his trial. It looks like it's going to be officially his team. It looks like DC is happy to play that role, at least what I've gathered from the trial last week, which I'm happy with. I think as the season goes on, DCE might do a bit more and start getting comfortable with connections and things like that. But I'm happy to combinations, I should say. But Sammy Walker kicking as well. I'm happy to have him there in there. But I'm a very nervous non-Cleary owner at this stage. Atkinson, I've got him just sitting there, hopefully getting some cash as well. My 5'8", Jonah Pezzett on the bench. And shout out to Jesse, let him have some cold shivers now. Cody Walker, I can't go away from him, even after that trial on the weekend where he had his hands in a lot. He looked fit, no strapping or anything on his body, which is great to see. His legs, nothing hobbling, nothing like that. He looks good, scored a try. For me, that was enough to go, I just need Cody Walker. I think will have his hands all over this left side. Very confident now owning him and more than happy to. Anything on the halves, boys? Jesse, mute.
Love Sam Walker.
The Walker combination.
Yeah. Look, it's a very good price point, Cody Walker. I look at 100. I look at everything that I ever need to do, and I'm like, God, I wish I could just get Cody Walker in my team, and I can't do it. So, respect to you doing it. It'll be good.
Coming around.
It'll be good when Pezzett outscores him every week, and you're like, damn, I'm playing the wrong 5'8" here. But yes, I very much like the Sam Walker play. It's very tempting. He's a weapon. So, yeah, the good Walker.
Travis about to burst.
No, I just you'll maybe when I talk, you'll understand.
All right, move on then. Centre wings. For me, I can't get away from what we spoke about very early on in the year about centre wings being almost must-haves, and I'm happy to start heavy with my centre wings because now we've also got a number of really bottom dollar cheapies, which just feels like it balances out nicely. So my centre wings to start with, I've got Herbie, Val Holmes, KL Iro, and Brian To'o. And on the bench, Makasini, Famani, and then Setu 2 as well. And then my fullbacks, I've got Scotty Drinkwater and Keanu Keeney. I'll leave my flex for a second, just on the back line there. Was there a Dan there?
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that's solid. Yeah, I think you're going to be fine with that. You can be fine with that for the season almost. That's about it's pretty much almost as good as it can get. Big investment in coin, but yeah, you're getting them now. You're getting them already. Herbie, Val, Eero, Toto, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's absurd. Yeah, very well done to fit them in, and Drinkwater as well.
Yeah,
it's very well done.
Happy. I've gone back to Drinkwater with obviously the team list news. I was a very nervous owner for a while there, but I just love the Cowboys run to start with. I think he'll score really well. I think he might be one of the highest scoring fullbacks in that position for the first 6, 7, 8 weeks overall. So I'm very happy to have him. I think he might even be a nice little captaincy shout for a couple of those games as well. Trav, anything to add?
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. I've been suggesting to most people that I don't like 3 center wings and then a cheapie. It's not on my bingo card. I think you need to, if you're going to go away from the top not echelon of our center wingers, it's like a Cobbo. It's one of those cheaper 500Kers.
I feel like I'm in a meeting in front of the deputy and the principal, and I've done something naughty, and I've actually got away with it quite well, and they're on board with whatever I've told them is the reason I've done it, which is great to see. Finally, this might change everything, because I'm a bit nervous about this one, but I've been big on this guy for basically the whole preseason so far. I think he's going to be massive for his club this year, so I just wanted a piece of him. The whole preseason so far, I've had 3 fullbacks. I've gone away from it. My flex to start with, I've gone Paddy Carrigan.
Nice. Nice.
I'm a bit nervous because wanted to be the exciting one. I wanted to double down with my fullbacks, but just last minute with a few things happening at the Storm in terms of the lineup, and I'm just not sure what Falongo would do to start with. I think he'll be fantastic throughout the year. I absolutely love him, but I thought I'll go Paddy Carrigan. The new stats back him up and say he's one of the big gainers from things from the point scoring system as well. So yeah, I'll go Paddy Carrigan in my flex, Trav.
Love it. Yeah. I was wondering, I was trying to piece as you were doing it. I've been writing notes or writing your team down just so I can remember, and trying to piece how you were able to afford the center wingers and where you've gone with some cash there with the Tino's 680, isn't he? And I can see how you've done that with the flex there with Carrigan at 630 odd, 636.
Yep.
Yeah. Does he get the duel? Oh no,
He's
he
already
has
duel.
the duel, doesn't he?
He's
got the duel, and it's his team, isn't it? Like he's ready to explode this year. Like obviously we know Haas is the guy, but this is Carrigan's time.
Yeah, and I think Tino will get the duel as well, so I'm happy to have a few of those really big guys early on, and all of them sort of have the duel and can play around a fair bit as the season goes on, which I love. But there we go. That's inch at a time, guys. So
money in the bank.
A few of our comps. Sorry, I've got 35K left, so not a whole heap. A little bit to happen. As I said, I can drop Cole Hoon if I want to free up an extra 100K or so to go and then do something else. But at the moment, I look at my team, and the only thing I'm nervous about is not having Cleary, but at the same time, having Walker really excites me. And I want to have a couple of these players to start with that I can be sort of excited to own. And I might have a week or two where Walker shits the bed and gets me a 30 or a 40, and Cleary might kill it and get a consistent 80-odd run or something. But I also think there might be some games where Walker gets me 120 and I'm sitting there cheering. So keen to ride that roller coaster. Let's have a bit of fun with it. So there we go. Inch at a time, team reveal. What is it? Wednesday night prior to Vegas. No doubt will change once TLT hit next week. But who wants to go next, boys?
Yeah, I'll go now. I'm happy to.
What's your team name? Sorry, let's reveal the team name.
My team name's just Travis Boys. I stick it. That's what I do. It's every draft team, every NBA fantasy team, every NFL team. Everything is always Travis Boys. But so I've gone at hooker, and I've changed this pretty drastically. So hopefully some of this surprises you boys. But hooker, Harry Grant and Reed Marnie. Then I went in the front rowers. I've got pretty much the same two. I've got the two starters anyways, Payne Haas and Mooney, as you have, Joel. I think that's going to be pretty common, that two starting. I'd love to be able to push Marnie to Colo, but I just can't find the cash for that just yet with how I'm wanting to run a few things. And then I've got Paseka and I've got Hetherington on the bench. And I've got an R sitting on Paseka. I'm pretty confident about that. I've also got the R on Marnie. Then in my second row forwards, I've got Yo. I've got Fafita and Lukey starting, and then the bench is Stewart, Paxton, and Bai.
There we go. That's cooking. He's cooking there. That to start with, that hooker combination in itself was like, oh shit. Okay, we're playing some serious Supercoach here.
As soon as Smith went out today, my team changed so much. And the reason being is because now Smith is going to be like that 6 to 8 weeks, is what everyone's kind of saying. Look, if it doesn't happen, and Smith is healthy, I'll change this around again. But at this point in time, I think Marnie in the first 6 to 8 weeks is going to make 100 or 150K, and then hopefully Smith comes in, and then it's just straight money down, and there's 400-500K hopefully in bank that I've got.
It's very viable, definitely, because he's underpriced. I would say at least 100 unders in the first 6 weeks, based off a 50 tackling average that he'll get. Could be it's a nice downgrade option for sure when Cheese gets back. Outside of that, everything else is looking real good. I like the Stewart play. I think they're just going to be, they're just like high tier plotters in a way, aren't they? The 400Kers. You just want them to do so much, but they're going to at least make you something. It's just how high do you set your expectations?
When do you get off?
Yeah, that's the
and
trick.
no doubt the week you get off will
time.
be like, no doubt after you get off, they'll go berserk for 3 or 4 weeks. You're like, oh shit.
That's the one.
Always. It's that Stewart choice was, it's either him. It's McEwen. I really want to get it. I really want that 400. I just want that fourth second rower. I don't want to drop that down to another cheapie of some sort. I just don't want to do that in the second row. So I'm pretty keen to get around that. I'm going to start with Stewart, but if he bombs out and McEwen does it, like, I'll make that trade. It'll be a like for like trade. I don't care if it's sideways. Like, I'm happy to make that change.
Yep. Very good.
The halves, I've got the exact same Joel. So Sam Walker and Atkinson, really? And I've got Cody Walker and Pezzett.
My God.
We are trying to take Jesse down together. Let's do this.
It's a bit light work this year, boys. Sorry.
It was Hines until today. And then obviously with a few things that I wanted to change around, I wanted Grant and Marnie. I had Munster. So this morning when I sent the picture, I had 5'8". I had Munster there, but I want to start with Grant and Marnie with the Smith out, because obviously, as I said, my plan is Marnie then goes down to Smith, and then I've got that hooker already. So to be able to fund that, I had to find some money, and Hines down to Walker helped. So that was one of the ways. I've probably just got recency bias. I got really sucked into what he did last week in the trials, and I want to be a part of it. I think that's where it's going to go. I think this is a sexy pick for me, and I'm super keen to get onto that. And I just think Cody Walker is so very undervalued for the first few weeks. I don't intend on holding Cody Walker for any longer than about 6 weeks, unless in the hope that he survives that long for injuries. But I just think on that left side, he's just going to be a beast, and I'm happy for 50s and 60s. That shows me that he's 150K undervalued, and there's my ticket to anyone in the 5'8", really, because I know by then I'll have all these cheapies that I'll have been able to downgrade. So I'm happy to push that down to go up.
I don't need to comment. I'm all for it, obviously. Jesse's already said his comments as well, so it's like echo what we said. Centre wings.
Centres. So, Herbie, KL Iro, Brian To'o, and I had to find some money, so I went Mitchell down to Cobbo. but I actually think Cobbo's going to outscore Mitchell. I'm just very high and so much higher on him. Watching the betting websites and things like that, starting to love Cobbo for most tries this year, and I think that 1 year contract that he's got is a really big thing. He's in a contract year. We know that works out really well for players. So that's where I've gone for my 4 studs, and then the bench is Macassini, Farmani, and 2.
Yep.
Very good bench.
What about your fullbacks?
And fullbacks Keeney and Sewer.
I'll tell you what. Sorry.
No. When the fullback, so when Sewer crossed the line off that Munster try on the weekend, I went, yep, locking and loading. That's it. Let's go.
I am a bit jealous not owning Sewer at the moment. I just wanted that excitement factor that he will bring, and I'm a nervous non-owner at this stage. However, that Cobbo pick for mine, I absolutely love it. I'm exciting again. I think he's in for a huge year outside Herbie, it looks like, on that wing. They're going to score a lot of tries down that side. He looks fit as I've seen him in a long, long time. And he obviously has a lot to play for. There's obviously links to... He looks like he's generally enjoying his time at the Dolphins. So I don't know if staying there is on the cards or not. You'd think so if he's playing well and he's enjoying life there still. But then there'd be some other clubs who would obviously want him following next year. He's a gun. I think he would drive his price tag up a lot this year, not just from a Supercoach point of view, but especially from an NRL point of view. So I love that pick.
Yep. Echo those points. Honestly, I do. I really like it. Like, we've sort of been speaking about your team for a bit, just in private, messages here and there, and it's good. Like, I love that Cobbo pick in general. Like, he was so high on my early team picks as well. Like, the very first initial team release and the whole year leading forward. We all know what the cheapies in the bench will do, but yeah, it's center wing's like a hot property right now, and there's so many freaking good players. Who was your flex?
Flex is I might just have to. I need to have a drink of water.
It's drink water.
Makes sense.
He's drinking some water there. Look out. There was nothing in that either, was there? That was an empty cup.
It's empty. It's actually water, but it is empty. I had to. Could you tell by how far it went back?
Just the droplet.
So he's not drinking water.
No, he's not. Yes, drink water in the flex.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, he's the best looking fullback for this run. I even just go on to drink water and just look at his player profile and like these next 3 games and the last 3 fixtures he's had against him, and just look at all the tons that are in there. It's bloody scary not to have him.
And there's even tons in 10 minutes and nothing else in 70. Like, so I'll take a dude that can do that. Like, just literally can do that. So my reserves just quickly is Sewer, Stewart, Paseka, and Marnie, and remaining is 7,300.
Nice.
Love it. I love it. We'll go back after Jesse's reveal. We'll just tell everyone how many Vegas players we have playing this week as well. But that will be right at the end. Jesse, talk to us. I have a feeling you've got a couple of picks that might surprise.
I didn't think my team was going to be so different. After listening to your two, I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to get
extremely nervous.
This is going to get a bit funny. So I've got Hooker I've got at Hooker Harry Grant. And with the Brandon Smith news, I took the extra coin. I didn't go up. I went down to Kalani going. So he was my nuff of 2025, and he's going to probably start my nuff of 26 as well. So that's them. Grant's Grant. I'll just rotate him where it needed to be. My front row, Keon and Carrigan to start.
I love how he's paused there because he's got no heart. So he's like, everybody, listen, I'm the big dog here that's got no heart.
So I've got, front rows, I've got Keon and Carrigan, and it looks bloody good.
Wobble.
My bench is Flegler and Paseka. So, bit of coin there.
Far out, that's good.
Yeah, I just think, with Keon, with everyone injured, it's like, God, he's too good to not put in that position now. And I reckon 70 plus is pretty expected minutes wise, and points probably 80 plus outside of that too. So yeah, Carrigan's Carrigan. Second row forward, I've got Yo. Isaiah Yo, David Fafita, and Trey Mooney as my starting three. So I've got those three locked in on the starters, and on my bench I've got Helam Lukey, Patston, and Cooper Bye. So I've kept four. I've got four, viable at least starters, just that one extra dude to rotate in. Outside of that, they're just underpriced. Everyone there is underpriced by some, especially Yo. I think Yo's probably going to push his way up towards that 70 again. Just need a big base fella. Halfbacks, I've got Nathan Cleary, Daniel Atkinson, Cleary with the big fat C on him as well. So spent a bit more money up in my halfback, but yeah, Cleary's been there. He's been there for a long time, and then get news about this suspension, and then he's straight out of my team, and then I've all of a sudden got money to play with, and then it's like, oh, he's not getting suspended. I'm like, far out, reverse everything. I've got to get him back in again. So he walked straight back in. My 5'8s have changed up a bit though. I've actually invested a little in them. Jackson Purdue is my starting 5'8. Peasant's on the bench. Yeah. So Cleary and Purdue.
You've gone from a guy that said 5'8's dead, you're done with it, to a little bit of an investment. Okay,
A little bit.
I am extremely nervous. The fact that out of all three of us, you are the only Cleary owner. I know obviously the mind frame that Cleary's in now. He's gotten off. It's basically us against everyone now. I'm extremely nervous, Trav.
I am too. I've had Cleary in my team for a long time, but I also know that they've got a pretty tough early start. So does that Cleary's matchup proof? He's still going to score well. Yeah, I don't know. I am nervous, but I'm not as well.
Yeah, I'm not really. Like, we've seen Cleary just dominate all the big teams, so
You're the
if he
Cleary
has a
owner,
quiet
of course
game,
you're not nervous.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's exactly right.
there we go. Yeah, Cleary captain around one. I'm not nervous. He's going to have to show up after that suspension, get out of jail free as well. So it'd be so good. For the centers, I've got Herbie Farnworth, Kyle Lero, Brian Toto, and that's kind of where my center wing has stopped, to be honest. Everyone after that are cheapies. So I will be starting a cheapie for round one. At the moment, I'm looking at Faimani as my center wing 4, with Macassini, Chester, and 2 on the bench. I'll probably go to Wheel Decide to work out which center wing 4 I roll with for round one. But yeah, from round 2, I'd imagine Macassini, providing he's named, will be my number 4 going forward for the most part anyway. And I might just play off fixtures for them until some coins been made and things can shuffle around. But yeah, I was very, very high on, like, I still very much am as well. And I'm going to try and find a way to get Val Holmes in, potentially over Kyle Lero if that's as close as I need to keep the cash. Otherwise, if I can get Brian Toe up to a Val for 135k, I'll try and do that as well. So yeah, I've looked at Paseka enough, and potentially going Toe up, but yeah, it just depends on the way that the team looks for the centers. And for my fullbacks, I've gone cheaper again. Keeney and Sewer, very common, very popular looking, fullback options. But yeah, I just think for 500k, basically the two of them, they're too good to not have.
Yeah, just before you announce your flex, I am a little bit more confident now, Trav, the fact that he has got 4 cheapies instead of the 3, because I'm with you. I think, and we've spoken about it a number of times over this podcast for the last month and a half, that basically center wing seems like the way to go, and I got no doubt these guys will score quite well, but I like the fact that he's letting us off the hook a little bit here, and we've got a chance to leap away.
His team's good. I mean, to be fair, I think all three of our teams are really good. I don't know who's in his flex just yet, but I really do think all three of our teams are really good. And the differences that he's got, like we've gone Haas, but he's gone Keon and Carrigan, which means we've had Mooney, and then he's coming, to be able to do some of the things he's done. So like dropping Haas down, and then having going at the hooker has allowed him to get Cleary and Purdue, but then it's cost him that 4th center wingers, which is a conversation that everyone's talking about. There's so many teams out there on all the different socials that's coming through our Legends group that's talking around is, do we go a 4th cheapy center? And my thoughts are no, but to be fair, that's how we all have our own opinions. And that's where you can get that money. Like if I drop Cobbo down to Chester, I've got 300K to muck around with. So that then means I could go Mooney to bloody Keon, and I could go Walker back up to Hines, kind of thing, so the money's able to do that. I just don't think. I think Cobbo's going to score so much better than any of those guys, and I want that 300K spent there.
It's
Jesse,
fair. Yep.
So I was about to say, can you reveal your flex, please? I hope it's not a painful experience.
It's a very painful experience. My flex is Payne Haas.
That's a game changer.
There he is.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think there's. I will happily rely on Payne Haas to do what Payne Haas does than any fullback to do what Payne Haas does. So, yes, I've put my 850K there. And if you want to move Payne Haas into my front row and move Carrigan into my flex, then I'll be exactly like Joel. Or you can move Keon into my flex, or you can move, whoever in my forwards, because I've got that many bloody dual position guys at the moment. Yes, Payne Haas.
Cover your ears, kids, please, for about 3 seconds. I am fucking shitting myself. Holy crap. Yes.
Initially,
okay.
initially it was I did have Payne Haas, and you know what? We can go back to bloody team reveal 1 where I had Haas and Carrigan as my front row 1 and 2. I'm on that again. I was very high on it then, and I haven't really changed. It's one of the opinions of my preseason that has been a constant. Keon was in my flex, just off all the news with the Rabbits, but then I just switched them just to make it look good at the top. So. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I think just with the beginning of the year, we always say, defenses are strong and there's all these reasons. And with the point scoring system change, what we expect to be an increase in middles and a reduction in fullbacks, all of it just makes sense for the right now, for the immediate future, maybe for the first month or two, to really bank on the base and the upgraded scoring side and seeing how the attacking shift of assists and all that other kind of stuff settles. But yeah, look, not having an elite fullback in general is kind of freaking me out a little bit. Because Keeney and Sewer with no third fullback, I've got a front rower instead. So it's a bit different. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things change after the first month or two.
Respect all the teams. I'll say that, boys. I think all 3 teams are looking great on paper. Again, it'll be on nicely presented onto our Legends group, guys. I'll put a link in the show notes as well, so it's easy to click on it and take yourself straight to it and come in. And there's plenty of Supercoach stuff in that group, plus the magazine as well, which will carry on into the season now. So plenty of awesome exclusive content to look forward to over on our Facebook Legends group. Just quickly, that final question, guys. Just how many at this stage Vegas players do you have for round 1? I'm sitting at 5. So I'm sitting at playing Drinky, Holmes, Lukey, Mooney, and Marnie. Trav?
Playing Marnie, Mooney, Stewart, Lukey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and Drinkwater 5.
That's right. You're not a home owner. That's right.
I've got 2, and I've got Atkinson sitting.
Yeah, I'm sitting Atkinson and 2 at this stage as well. I think Marnie will be my play in that cheapie ones for next week as a reserve. Jesse?
I've got Lukey, Mooney, Purdue, Chester and 2, and Atkinson. But the last 3 I'm probably... No. That's who I have that are playing at Vegas. I don't think I'll be playing 2 or Chester. I'm not 100%. I kind of want to just leave the starting players open for the next week's TLT, but I could potentially. Yeah, I'm potentially playing Atkinson this week. Just to kind of lock that spot in. If not him, it'll probably be like a Paxton that gets the reserve either way. But yeah, definitely playing Purdue, definitely playing Mooney. If Luke is in my team from kickoff, he'll be definitely playing as well.
No, I love it. Let us know, guys, what you think about our team reveals. Any questions that you may have, please add them into the comments as well. Hit that like, subscribe button. It goes a long way of helping. It's a free way of supporting the page as well. Those listening on the podcast, if you can please just give us a quick rating as well. I think we're almost up to 50, and I think we're sitting 4.9 or something. So it's fantastic to see. Keep supporting us. It does mean a lot to us. Thank you to Trav. Thank you to Jesse. TLT, we're very keen to, and then obviously next week will be an even bigger show, the big reveal of the remaining sides. Plenty to come. I reckon there'll be some surprises, some heartbreak as well. But we'll be there to tackle it all. And hopefully we're all coming on after some great scores, a couple of hundreds in our lineups and cheering and in a great mood. So thank you very much, boys. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. We will see you again next week.